What's up guys, Justin here, aka MHero25. So I'm finally back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! After finding a job and working for about a month, and I finally got to go to locals for the first time in a while. So I'm still on my whole journey to get Dinos to be #1 at my locals. So yeah. So I have made some updates and some changes since the ban list, and after watching a few more deck profiles and researching, because you never should stop researching to get your deck to the best possible version it can be. And I just wanted to share with you some ideas I've had, and I want your feedback. Maybe you thought this was a good idea. Maybe I misplayed this card. You know, I'm always down for suggestions and how to make this deck better. So, without further ado, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of Lost World Dino. We're running 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor, 3 Miscellaneous Aerosaurus, 3 Pankratops, and my updated 3 UCT. I usually ran 2 because I used to think 3 was too cloggy, but the meta has changed enough where it's not. And with the variant I'm running now, which is the OTK variant, you need a dedicated level 3 in the main deck. Level 10. Dedicated level 10 in the main deck. Sorry. Whew. And sorry for the noises. My landlords upstairs are doing renovations to their apartment, and it's just kind of noisy, and I can't do it at any other time besides right now. So, I'm sorry, guys. So, off to our trio of dinos. We're running still 2 Overtix Quatless, personal player's choice. I just don't want to be that person that says, oh, I drew Overtix Quatless, so now it's dead in my hand. No. Overtix Quatless is a great card in the deck and in the hand if you can get the effect off right. So at least you can still dump one with whether it be Foolish Burial or Oviraptor's effect. And if you can get the Banish 5, you get this free monster. You get a free monster back with resources back into your deck, which is why I love this card at 2. And that's it for the multiple dinos. After this one-ofs, we're running 1 Giant Rex and 1 Stegosaur. I personally love this card. I tried cutting it, and I ended up missing it and regretting it just because with Lost World Dino Wrestling in the main deck and banishing it, I get a free body and a search for Pankratops. So whether Xyz or Link and they just negate it and they still have monsters on board, I still have a play to go into. So that's just more of my personal preference. And then we're only running 1 of each baby, just because as the game goes on, this deck stopped being a grindy deck and more into still like an OTK deck. And it still can grind, but you rather not have to top deck babies when you're in clutch mode. So 1 of each is fine. Off to our hand traps, our only hand trap, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. This is personally still, in my opinion, one of the best hand traps of the game. But if you can't get Ash Blossoms, Veilers are still great, so are Ghost Ogres, DD Crows themselves, but whatever hand trap you do pick, make sure that you adjust to that. So, you know, maybe if you can't get Ash Blossom, you get Veiler, just make sure that when your opponent searches, you have a good way of interrupting or having a way to like feed off that information and you really work it towards your advantage. And some spicy techs I've been running 2 Cyber Dragon, and even to be a bit more spicier, I ran a different rarity just because for some players it drives them nuts when they see mismatch rarity. And yes, having Cyber Dragon just like be able to contact fuse with Orcus boards and just clear off everything, because then they would have to use the Crescendo to negate the summon, or you know, just contacting an Abramax that can't die. Yeah, this is definitely a staple now in this form of the meta. And some other spicier techs I've been running. I've been using Nahata, the Tenyi Spirit, and an Evotile Mega Corella. Now, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here real quick. So, Tenyi Spirit Nahata can be replaced with any Tenyi Spirit that's level 4. I just had Nahata in my bulk, so I just threw it in. This card performed amazingly well. It is a free body that I can toss out, which helps me get into my rank 4s or links if I need to. Because what it does, it just gives me 1 free body, and the main weakness I've seen with the Dino deck, the way I run it, is if they do negate me or have me kind of, you know, or they outplay me, I'm always down to 1 Dino which is like usually like an Oviraptor, a Giant Rex, or a miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, and I can't do anything with because it's by itself. With this, I at least have a body to overlay a link into to get into the more generic links, or to the more generic exceeds, like Gaga Cowboy if I had to go for game, Exciton Knight if I have to go for it, Baguska if I have to stall, Tornado Dragon if I have to get rid of back row, or even Ragnar Zero depending on what variant you're running. But this was performing amazingly well. I still want to use it as a 1-up, maybe go to a 3, but I don't know. Still debating on that one. Now, Mega Corella was one I was so pumped for and so excited about, and I thought it would do amazingly well. It underperformed so much. Maybe I didn't use it well, maybe I just didn't have the hindsight to think about what plays to do. But on paper, this card is amazing for the deck. So its effect is you can tribute 1 reptile and discard 1 card to special summon a level 6 or lower fire dino from your deck. We run one, which is Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, and it's great. Now, the thing is, though, the reason I didn't use that effect is because it wastes a normal summon, and if I have Oviraptor in hand, I'd rather have Oviraptor. The graveyard effect is what really got me, but the more I thought about it and played it, I realized it's more of like I'm already winning kind of effect. So what it does is you can banish it from the graveyard, select one of your fire rank 4 dragon monsters and special summon it, and add 2 reptiles or 2 dragons underneath as material. And I realized later on that it doesn't say anything about level about those reptiles, or if it has to be, if it has to be if it has to be a link, a Xyz, or whatever. The material doesn't matter as long as it's a dragon or a reptile. So I was like, oh my god, that's broken. But the problem is I couldn't get this in the grave enough because Foolish Burial is at 1. It's a reptile, so I can't dump it with Soul Eating Oviraptor. And I just couldn't get this card out. Like you have so many ways with UCT, Oviraptor, and Foolish Burial, but it just never came up. Maybe it's because it was a 1-up I didn't see it enough, and same thing with Nahada. But I don't know. I'm still testing out those 2 and just seeing how they play out. But that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. Of course, we're running a Lost World version, so we have to run 3 Lost World. And that also means we're running 3 Fossil Dig because it's a Dino deck. And for our 2-ups, we're running 2 Cosmic Cyclone just because, well, banishing this format is way more important than, destructions. And I'd rather get rid of 1-ups than activate Twin Twister and hit Awaken the Dragon. I've done it. It hurts. I know this banish. It doesn't matter if it's banished, but still, I just... No. And then running 2 Double Evolution Pill, just because it needs to happen in the deck. Spicy tech of the format, Mind Control. Mind Control is amazing. You take monsters, link them away if you can, Xyz with them if you can, or just use them for material. Especially with UCT, it's a great card because you can get rid of problematic cards and just pop it and set everything on your opponent's board. It's great. Our 1-ups now, 1 Terraforming. I missed it at 3, but it had to happen. It was getting broken. 1 World Dino Wrestling. I've actually used this card as the field spell just to gain advantage over my opponent, especially with Pankratops in the field, and they just stare it down like I can only attack with 1 monster, and it's like, yeah, it's a wrestling match, dude, 1-1, and I have a UCT on board, like, you can't do anything, or if you do, I'm gonna negate, or I'm gonna, screw this board up. So I'm a little giddy about that. It was just funny. 1 Foolish Burial Goods. I really regretted this decision. I ran 2 and I went down to 1 just to cut down on deck space, and I wish I didn't, because Foolish Burial Goods at 2 is what gives me the consistency to dump World Dino Wrestling or one of the other cards I'm running into the graveyard so I can use it. But at 1, it was never good enough. I tried my whole theory of, if you're on 1 card, you have to have at least 2 to 3 targets. The thing is, though, if you don't see the card, it doesn't matter, right? Next up, and our final spell, Foolish Burial. Yeah, this card's too good and too versatile in today that having it more than 1 is stupid. And then the other card I was checking out, Survival's End. This card comes in and out of the deck as the meta changes. As of right now, it might go out just because when I usually ran this, it was against Paleo Frogs or cards that were like very normal monster heavy, this would be good, but because I can't really use it, I'm considering cutting it. I don't know. That's my personal preference. Alright, now off into the extra deck. We're running, of course, the targets for Cyber Dragon, so we have the Fortress for the machine decks and Mega Fleet for everything else. For Exceeds, we're running, of course, the Dolka and Logia package. Then we're running one Exciton Knight, Tornado Dragon, Abyss Dweller, Gakka Cowboy for game, and Super Dreadnought Cannon Gustav Max for game. For our links, we're running one Nightmare Cerberus, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Pentastag for game for piercing damage, one Hita because the meta is still Salamangreat Great and Sky Striker, so I'm going to use that. One Unicorn and one Borolo Dragon. This extra deck, it will change. I'm still debating a lot of stuff to add or take out. In all honesty, I am debating on cutting Borolo just because I have never used him. But he's a good app for a lot of other things. But I don't know, like with IP Masquerade coming out, being out, just returning stuff on your opponent's turn, so good, so good. So yeah. That's just some ideas, and that's it for the main and extra. If you want to stop here, you're more than welcome to. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, if you're interested into my side deck, we're gonna keep moving on. So, for me specifically, I have 3 Mask of Restrict because I just hate my True King matchup. I cannot beat that matchup no matter how hard I try. So this is my way out of it. Called by the Grave just for graveyard effects. It was mained and I liked it, but I just didn't have enough space. So again, I'm still tweaking out the deck and try it out. Next up, our third Cosmic Cyclone, and of course it's a secret rare. All my other ones are commons. Gonna drive somebody nuts. Dogoran was replaced with Cyber Dragon in the main deck, but having Dogoran still in some variation, in some form in any of the side deck is good because searchable, removable, and if they keep putting on unbreakable wards, this is my only other way to kind of like get rid of the stuff. Another card I'm checking out right now is Luna the Dark Spirit. This is more of like, I'm in time theory. So the reason behind this card is during like end of mass procedures, I can special summon this past turn with before time is called, special summon this past turn, and on my opponent's standby phase. They can't really stall out because draw phases is draw card, standby phase. As soon as you hit it, you take 500 damage. You can't really do anything in standby phase. Not a lot of cards can. So either that already puts me ahead or wins me the game, or my opponent has a deficit. And usually I just don't end on one monster. I'll usually have like one another big beater or big boss monster or negator on the board to help me concrete my win. And then finally, one Artifact Lancia. This was going in and out, but I decided to throw it back in because I thought it'd be useful. Alright guys, well, that's it for everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment sections down below what ideas you have. And I hope to hear from you guys real soon. Alright, this is Justin, aka MHero25, signing out. Peace.